No, this is our notes. There's the title. 3.2 is today's lesson. Today we begin talking about multi-step equations and all the little ins and outs. Some of you are going to think this is so simple. Just give me the assignment. Some of you are going to learn some things, but I'm going to show you lots of little tricks as we do various problems, and they're all going to build from here. This is like the baseline of the easiest day of multi-step equations. Okay? So we're going to be talking ultimately about multi-step after break. Jenna, what are you doing?
Oh, I just have it so I can see.
Okay.
I'm trying to focus it.
Do you have your glasses?
I forgot them.
Okay. I just don't like the iPad being distracting, so make sure you're just taking a picture and do that, and not trying to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
After break, we are going to move into multi-step equations with variables on both sides. Today, we're going to still keep the variable on one side, and we're going to take everything we've been working on before break in Bell work with equations, not before break, before the test. So undoing, solving for x, isolating the variable, inverse operations. Does everybody follow all that concept? And then we're going to add to it what we worked on last week with simplifying and collecting like terms. And we're going to put those two things together to create today's assignment and questions. Ladies, we're not going to talk. This class is going to get new seats really quickly. I let you pick, and if you couldn't pick well, I will be redetermining them after fall break. All right, here we go. To solve a multi-step equation, we have 3 steps that we are going to follow. Step 1 is if there is parentheses to distribute, you have to clear the parentheses. So the first thing you do when you start a problem is you look to see, is there something I need to distribute? And remember, the distributive property says we are going to pass out a value. We worked on distribute on Thursday and Friday. You worked on that with your partner in a group, in an activity, and then you worked on your individuals. Step 2, then you're going to get out the boxes and the circles. And you're going to look for like terms, and you're going to combine your like terms. Use those boxes, circles, squares to help you out there. And then once you have done the boxes, circles, and squares, you are going to have an equation that you will undo order of operations in reverse. Right? Remember we talked about that when we talked about solving equations. That is why you undo, add, or subtract first, and then multiply or divide second. And so basically, creating these multi-step equations, that is achieved by doing work at the beginning of the problem, not work at the end of the problem. Sort of like a basic equation got harder by adding more things at the beginning and doing a second step first. And then we're going to constantly make the equations harder by adding things at the beginning. Every equation is going to end with undo, multiply, or divide to isolate the variable. And that's what we're going to do all day today, all day tomorrow, all day on your homework tomorrow. And then for the quiz, we're not having a quiz, we're having a little Unit 3 check-in on Thursday. Just practicing isolating the variable and isolating the variable properly. So once you have that written down, we're going to do about 5 or 6 examples here. I would ask that you not try to work ahead. I think next year I'm going to put 1 example per slide Because what I've noticed in first period is some people like working on the next one while I was still explaining some of the ins and outs of the first one. So just go one at a time with me as we go through here. Oh, where did I lay my pencil? All right, here we go with example 1. On your paper, you should write the exact equation you see on the screen. Write 3x plus 6x equals 90. And then you're going to go through the checklist. Is there anything to distribute? No? So the next thing I'm going to do is collect like terms. I have 3x's here and 6x's here. How many x's do I have? 9x is 90. And now I have a one-step equation that we solved several times last week that we should be good to go on. I'm going to divide both sides by 9. X equals 10. Do we all agree? Now remember, you can always plug this in and double check it. That would be 30 plus 60. Is 30 plus 60 90? All right, this is number 2. You go ahead and write number 2 and try number 2 at your seat right now. Remember, write the whole first equation. Don't try to do things in your head. That always ends badly. Mental checklist, is there any distribute? No. Second thing you do is collect like terms. I hope you will all agree there are only 3 x's. If you miscollect, if you do wrong signs, if you only circle the x and don't realize that x is negative, you're going to say 5x, and that's going to change everything in your answer. Does that make sense? Does everybody follow where I got 3x? 3x plus 20 is 38. Yay. And then I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides, which gives me 3x is 18. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3 for a final answer of x equals 6. And again, that plugs in. 24 plus 20 is 44 minus 6, which would be 38. Ryan, you need to stop playing with your hat cord and focus. Everybody good with those? All right, let's look about number 3. Again, do not start number 4 because we're going to do a little extension on number 3. Move on to number 3, and I'll go back in a second, Silas. Oh, we're going to need a lot of room. We still got 2 more. We got 3 more. We got 6 examples. All right, when you get to number 3, we are going to pass out this -2. Does everybody agree? Yeah. And that would give me -2x. What is -2 times 9 going to give me? Minus 18 equals 32. Does everybody follow where I got minus 18? Now you're going to see the importance of keeping track of your distributing negatives, because if you write plus 18 there, then your undo is going to be the wrong thing. To undo this one, to solve this one, I would add 18, not subtract 18. And if you don't change your sign correctly, you would have the wrong answer. Negative 2x equals 50. Divide by negative 2, and x equals negative 25. Now, before you start the next one, please still don't start number 4. I wish I would have put this on its own slide. I'm going to show you, and I want you to write it down, an alternate way. And you might say, Ms. Kearns, I don't need an alternate way. I understand what we're doing. That's great. I need you to see this alternate way so that when you get to your IXL, when you get to iLearn and you see the way they work it out and make you be the teacher and find the error, you don't say the wrong thing's the error. Okay? In the equation, negative 2 times x plus 9 equals 32. This is an equation that has a distribute, and according to our notes, we said distribute, and then collect, and then solve. In this equation that only has a distribute, there is an alternate way to do this. And that would be by thinking about PEMDAS or GEMDAS and saying, I'm going to undo add or subtract, I'm going to undo multiply or divide, I'm going to undo exponents, and I'm going to undo grouping symbols, meaning I'm going to undo this part last. I'm not going to pass it out. I'm going to undo this multiply before I undo this. And you might say, okay, well, it works. I'm going to show you it works. You could divide both sides by negative 2 and cancel out that multiplication, which would leave me with x plus 9 equals negative 16. And then you would subtract 9 from both sides and get x equals negative 25. Is that what I got when I did it with distribute? Now you might say, I don't want to do it that way, Ms. Kearns. I don't care. I'm going to always distribute. And that's fine. I just don't want you to see analyzing work and you see somebody divides both sides by 2 first and you think, oh, that's where their mistake is. That is a totally legal move. In this kind of problem, it is not a legal move in number 4. And that's part of the reason I kept them together. Looking at number 4 compared to number 3, why do you think what I did here is legal in number 4 and would not be legal, would cause error if you did this in number, or is legal in number 3, but is not going to be legal in number 4 if you did what I just wrote up here on the screen that's not showing up? Why can I not do this, do you think, Ryan?
Because since there's the 4 is an extra term, because it has an extra term outside of the grouping thing.
Right, outside of the parentheses, there's more terms. Anytime there's more terms, this is illegal. Can't do it, it will lead to wrong answers. But this is always an option when it's the only term. Does that make sense? Do you see the difference? So if somebody tried to do what I just wrote right here, this would be wrong. That would be their error. But if they tried to do it down here, it would be okay because there are no other terms. Let's do number 4 together now. In number 4, you have to go through those steps that I told you. Step 1, distribute. So your first layer would be 6y minus 18 plus 4y equals negative 78. I have to distribute. Then I collect, just like we did in our homework on Friday, or Wednesday, or Thursday, whenever I saw you last. Just like we did in our last assignment. Let's say it that way. We're doing, oh, you ready to do number 4? Make sure you have it right now. Then we're going to take 6y and 4y and get 10y. Minus 18 equals negative 78. You got to keep track of all of that integer work. Adding 18, I hope you don't add up 78 and 18. That would be incorrect. It's 10y equals negative 60. If 10y is negative 60, what's y going to be? y is -6. Yay or nay? Ready for the last two? Anybody got questions on 4? Do you see a clear difference between 3 and 4? Let's go with 5. Write the problem as you see it. Write the problem as you see it. Okay, you don't have this one right, and you didn't fix it. So I'm not sure what you're doing. But if you don't have it right, you didn't have this one right. You didn't write any work like we did in class. What's going on, Parker? This isn't like do what you want. You need to copy what's on the screen. If you're not going to do that, we're going to have issues. Because none of these are correct. Okay? So stick with the program. Write the equation. Write what I write on the screen. Don't do your own method. It's not going to work. First layer of work should be the following. 4x plus 8 plus 5x plus 40 equals 21. Yay or nay? And then I collect my x's. I have 9 x's plus 48 equals 21. If you don't have what I have, we got to be fixing it. Then I'm going to subtract 48 from both sides. 9x equals -27. If you can't do this in your head, you got to come over here and write 48 minus 21. It's 27. It would be -27. Dividing both sides by 9 gives me x equals -3. Write number 6 quickly. Okay, you have to write out the distributed terms, okay? 4 layers of work here. You're not going to have a clue how to do these on your own. You haven't done one of them right with us in class. Just distribute these on the top of those in a second. First layer should be, Ms. Kearns made an error on this one in first period, 5x minus 10x. Most kids get that right, but then it's plus 10 equals 40. Does everybody follow where I got the minus 10? Ryan, it's -2 times 5, which is where I get -10. And then -2 times -5, which is where I get plus 10. If you miss a sign, do you follow that you're never going to get the right answer? Because you're going to be doing the wrong inverse operations. We are going to collect like terms, and I hope we all agree we get -5x. Plus 10 is 40. Subtract 10 from both sides. -5x is 30. Divide both sides by -5. X equals -6. Hang on real quick. Did you get -6? Today's assignment I just passed out to you. Notice there is an answer bank. Your work has to look like that. That's -6. This was a negative. Positive divided by negative. Yes, and I have a note for you guys from Monday, and I'll give you a copy of today's note. Can I have your note copy to you? This is Friday, Thursdays. You don't have to say it. I'll get you 2 days. Where are you at for TSS, Parker? I will get you back. Where do you have for TSS? Oh, then you guys are going to 4th period. Listen, I'm sitting in my meeting, and I'm going to tell her to look at your notes you took and the notes I take. Didn't look good. You understand? Why are you choosing not to? Huh?
There's like stuff on there that will tell
Why are you
exactly
choosing
how
not to do what you're supposed to do? No, you
It's
weren't.
a free.
This was not written on the screen. This is what was written on the screen. No, so don't say I was copying what was written on the screen, because you were not. Tell me why. You just weren't doing it. If you want to be in advance, this is what you gotta do. This isn't, I mean, you didn't get any of them right by yourself. And I don't mind helping you, but you've gotta do what we're doing in class for me to be able to help you. Take these. Put them in your binder. I wanna see you put them in your binder. That's the assignment. You have it in that section. Where are you going for fourth period, Silas?
Gym.
I'll get these to you. I'll get these to you in MTSS. That's the assignment. Make sure you know where to put it.
Hey,
Forgot
sorry.
to-
I don't have a quick answer for you. I added a screenshot to my thread with Erin to see if she can give me a better answer.
I mean,
now that I'm
maybe
showing
it's
her.
gonna be fine, it just is weird, it's.
I think it's related to something that they were